Hello everyone, welcome to Truman's Wild Adventure. Under this strange sky, our hero dodges a rain shower exclusive to him. What's up with this weather? Wow, this wind is so unkind, thunder rumbling, adding special effects to her evening class. Big raindrops are pouring down like a hot water fountain, and Truman on the beach is getting a first-hand lesson on how to become a soaked chicken. He excitedly shares his travel plans with his wife, but pressure from cars, homes, and life halts their dreams. Seeing Truman down, his wife swiftly changes tactics, casting the have a baby spell, saying it'll erase unrealistic dreams. Since life's pressures won't let him escape, why not just have a kid? Now that's a one-size-fits-all solution. You'll never see anything, only get distracted by cameras, while the view outside flutters in like background music. The next day, Truman encounters a homeless man while picking up magazines, who turns out to be his long-lost dad. Before recognizing his dad, two passers-by swooped in like movers and whisked him away. Truman rushes after them, but the passing players obstruct him as if doing a drill, like they're saying, "Nope, you can't see him." In the end, his father gets shoved onto a bus, and they don't utter a single word to each other, like a date gone terribly wrong. Truman asks, "What place is this?" Then he rushes to his mom. But Mommy firmly claims it's all his guilt, making that whole hallucination concept sound very convincing. That night, Truman returns to the basement, opens a box, finds a photo with his dad. How rare visible moments are now. Just then, his wife materializes like a ghost, and Truman has to pretend he's fixing the lawnmower and claims he made bread. Still hungry, he juggles excuses, while his wife flips the switch to advertising mode, want to dump that bottle of water. Then Truman pulls out a red sweater from the box, and the owner of that sweater is none other than the girl he's been dreaming about. Fast forward to Truman's college years, he accidentally gets drawn to Roland sitting under a tree, and in an instant, the red thread of fate starts getting. At that moment, Truman feels a subtle attraction to Roland, and the show's creators slyly launch their plan to have Truman's future wife approach him. When Truman looks back, Roland has already quietly opted out, as if she's saying, "Nope, I choose not to play this game." At the school's dance, Truman sees Roland's beauty again, but alas, she's quickly ushered out by a group. A total plot twist. Thinking their story unfinished, Truman meets Roland again in the library, courage emerging from behind the shelves. He excitedly pitches the idea of a date, aiming for the next week, but Roland zaps a note saying "right now" on paper. Roland explains, "If we don't go now, we might not have a chance later." Her deep gaze totally knocks Truman off his feet. As classmates leave the library, Roland seizes the moment to sneak Truman out the back. What a genius escape plan. On the beach, Truman can't help but give away his first screen kiss. It's an absolutely perfect choreography. At this moment, the show obviously doesn't want them to continue the romance, as a car races in like a date crasher. The man in the car claims to be Sophia's dad, forcing her into the vehicle, and Truman is totally at a loss. He turns back and tells Truman Sophia has a split personality, often chatting with men at the beach, a plot twist he never imagined. Before leaving, Sophia whispers to Truman, "Get out of here, come find me, don't worry." And just like that, Sophia vanishes from Truman's world, leaving behind a red sweater. It's like a disappearing magic trick. Unfortunately, his mom is stricken with illness, preventing her figure trip. Truly a bummer. Nevertheless, the director chooses to arrange for Truman's current wife to walk down the aisle with him, and that's giving him a huge headache. To remember Sophia's appearance, he hides a paper collage of her face behind his wife's photo frame. Now that's a quirky kind of love. This explains why he always buys magazines, trying to piece things together and desperately searching. It's a puzzle challenge. The next day, Truman drives to work, and suddenly a glitch erupts on the radio, like a twist for what shocking news. Everything around becomes unbelievable, with the radio hurriedly explaining it's a staff error. It's utterly hilarious. Don't forget to drive safely. Truman passes a newsstand and sees a headline about a homeless man being evicted. It seems someone is purposely making Truman believe that recent events are just a well-planned act. To validate his suspicions, Truman dashes into a revolving door, but instead of rushing in, he takes a few spins. Even though he's never seen the outside world, this scenery feels oddly familiar. It's like a ghost returned. The people around seem like machines repeating their tasks, and Truman's gaze searches like an eagle for any flaws. He discovers someone sneaking a watch on him, and in that moment, he's sure everything is on repeat and is ready to bolt. Suddenly, a bus comes charging in, and Truman remains unfazed, thinking, "There should be a green car behind me." At this point, he's more convinced deciding to charge into an unfamiliar company risky mission. People around tense up. A guard rushes to inquire. Truman thinks quickly and hatches a plan. He preps to dash into the elevator, only to find it's the crew's backstage, leaving Truman utterly baffled. The guard uses renovations as an excuse to toss him out, and Truman finally realizes this isn't a script. He rushes to a store, spills everything to Molan, and as the sun sets, it feels like a script blueprint is slowly unfurling. However, little does he know, his childhood buddy alongside him is also an actor arranged by the crew. How ironic.